historians, I'm Abby.
And I'm Sophie.
Today we're going to be talking about the Underground Railroad, the people who traveled it, and its connection to Iowa. What is the Underground Railroad? It is important to know that the Underground Railroad was not underground, and not even a railroad. The Underground Railroad was a series of routes and safe houses in the 1800s that were used by enslaved people to escape to northern states and Canada, where slavery was illegal. This system allowed many African Americans who were enslaved to escape to freedom.
The Underground Railroad was in operation in the 1800s while the institution of slavery was happening in the United States. What is slavery? Slavery in the United States was when thousands of people were forced to migrate or move to North America from Africa and work on farms and in households without pay and against their will. Slavery in the United States started even before the country was founded in 1776 and lasted until 1865 with the passage of the 13th Amendment. What is an amendment? An amendment is a change made to a law. In this case, the 13th Amendment was a change to the Constitution, or the set of rules that guide the United States. This change made slavery illegal in the United States, except when it was used as a punishment for a crime.
The conditions enslaved people had to live and work in were very bad, sometimes even deadly. They had to do hard work for long hours and often did not get enough food to eat or clothing to wear to keep them safe. They were treated very unfairly and could be sold from one enslaver to another because enslaved men, women, and children were seen as property and not people. Enslaved families could even get split up and never see each other again. Because of the way they were treated, some enslaved people tried to run away to places where slavery was illegal, such as northern states or Canada.
It was very dangerous to travel along the Underground Railroad and attempt to escape. Those who were escaping or helping others would often travel at night, and they had to be very cautious of who they trusted. There were laws, such as the Fugitive Slave Act of 1793, that ruled that enslaved people who ran away could be returned to their enslavers, and those who helped them could be fined, as well as the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 that made it legal to fine or jail anyone who helped runaways, and also made it legal to return runaways, even if they were found in states where slavery was illegal. Because it was dangerous to talk about escaping, enslaved people had to rely on codes to get information about the Underground Railroad. There were no maps, so coded songs such as Follow the Drinking Gourd provided directions or instructions to those brave enough to try and escape.
One of the most important leaders of the Underground Railroad was Harriet Tubman. Harriet, who was named Araminta Ross, was born during the early 1820s in Maryland to enslaved parents named Harriet Green and Benjamin Ross. When she was older, she married a man named John Tubman in 1844 that was a free black man. Harriet, however, was an enslaved person. Harriet did not believe it was right African Americans had to be enslaved, and to utilize the Underground Railroad to escape with her two brothers to freedom in the North. Her husband decided not to join her on this dangerous journey to freedom, and he ended up leaving Harriet to marry a free black woman. She returned to the South after taking herself and her brothers north to help free more enslaved people. She helped free dozens of people, and a reward was posted for her to be stopped. Her journeys to and from the South were never easy, but through her bravery, she was never caught and did not lose any of the people she was taking north.
Later on, Harriet decided to join the army to fight in the Civil War against slavery. What was the Civil War? The Civil War was an American war fought from 1861 to 1865. She became a military leader and helped by being a nurse and a spy. She survived the war and the Union Army won, the side wanting to free enslaved people, and she returned to life in Auburn, New York, and remarried a fellow Civil War soldier.
In Iowa, it is difficult for historians to find a lot of information about what happened on the Underground Railroad here, because those who helped people were escaping kept hardly any documents about it, so they couldn't get caught. Much of the information about the happenings of the Underground Railroad in Iowa was handed down through oral histories, memories, and family stories. For example, escapees might have hidden under trapdoors and tunnels in some places, but according to accounts, in Iowa they would hide in attics, barns, or outside where they could be concealed by plants.
One interesting story of the usage of the Underground Railroad in Iowa is the journey that the Pyles family took to escape slavery. In Kentucky, Harry Pyles, a free man, married Charlotta Pyles, who was enslaved. Together they had 12 children. Harry could visit his wife and children, but they were still enslaved. After one of their sons got sold to a plantation in Mississippi, they decided they needed to escape to a free state. With the help of a reverend from Ohio and the daughter of their enslaver named Miss Gordon, the Pyles family traveled the Underground Railroad all the way to Keokuk, Iowa. The Pyles family was very big, consisting of Harry and Charlotta, the remaining 11 children, and their 5 grandchildren. So it was incredible that they all made it to safety. The husbands of 2 of their daughters, however, were left behind. Charlotta decided to free her 2 son-in-laws, and she went on a speaking tour in order to raise the $3,000 needed to buy them out of slavery.
While in Philadelphia, she met prominent anti-slavery leaders such as Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony. After successfully buying her son-in-law's freedom, she helped more people escape slavery on the Underground Railroad through Iowa. Her home even became one of the safe houses.
The Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman, and Charlotta Pyles all played a significant role in freeing enslaved people in the South and aided efforts that led to the freedom of all enslaved people after the Civil War was fought. Those who made the decision to try and escape slavery along the Underground Railroad and those who helped them were all very brave.
Okay guys, so for this week's activity, we're actually going to be doing a worksheet. For this activity, the pages here include things like terms used in the coded language on the Underground Railroad with their definitions, and it includes activities where you can match up terms with definitions and decode things like letters and songs using the terms and definitions provided. Ask a parent or guardian for help to complete this activity, and remember, it's in the description to this video.
That's all for us today, historians. Thanks for coming on this history adventure with us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Bye!